So when Davis first started working with us, he was spending a tremendous amount of his time and effort on his YouTube channel for one of his businesses. And he has a portfolio of different businesses. So he simply did not have time to spend that much time on his YouTube channel.
I'm glad to talk about one of our portfolio companies, which is my consulting offer. We help people get jobs in management consulting firms. So think about your McKinseys, your Boston Consulting Groups, your Accentures, your Deloittes, and so forth.
For instance, he was recording all the videos for himself. He was doing a lot of quality control on the videos. He was helping to write the script, helping to edit them, giving feedback, etc. It was taking him way too much time, but he did know that YouTube was super valuable. Even though he really hadn't figured out how to use YouTube and he really hadn't gotten that many views, he was way less than 10,000 subscribers, he was still getting decent results from YouTube. There would be months where he would make close to $10,000 a month, even though he wasn't posting that many videos and his videos weren't getting that many views.
And I remember for the first 2 years we were doing YouTube, before I met you, we literally, when we categorized at a meeting, the revenue was so small that it was just under the other bucket of categorized with all the other experiments that didn't work out.
However, when he implemented our system and he figured out how to streamline and optimize things, everything changed. And we're gonna talk about a few of the things that he did. Now, Davis is a unique situation because he actually owns a portfolio of businesses. He already had his portfolio was already 7 figures, but we helped him scale his YouTube channel to making way more than what he was making before. And most importantly, what we helped him do is we helped him fully automate his YouTube content creation. Now, let's talk about kind of some of the most important things. So as a CEO, Davis's time was worth a lot of money and he was spending way too much of his time recording the videos and making the videos. So the first thing we did is we basically completely streamlined and optimized the making of the videos to where the only thing he had to do is get in front of the camera and record the video. So that's the first thing we did. That's already saved him a ton of time every single week, probably about 5 to 10 hours a week. Then the second thing we did down the line is we actually just completely removed Davis from his channel and we had other people presenting on his channel.
And so I remember when I first proposed this idea, I was like, hey, eventually I want to remove myself. And you're like, no, too soon. We got to test with you. We got to make it. And you're like, we set a goal that it had to be X amount. And I was like, all right, Shane, you give me more motivation to remove myself. Now we got to test fast. We got to look at the data even more, figure out what works. And eventually we're able to replace myself where we have different spokespeople who can come in and go through and the quality and the comments are still there and people still love our YouTube videos. Obviously some of my older videos still over time brings in leads, but even the newer ones, people trust the people who are representing the channel and so forth and representing the brand.
Now, this is an option that not too many of our clients go for because in his particular, in a lot of our clients' cases, they want to build their personal brand. But in his particular case, this was a company that he might want to sell at some point in the future. So it was totally fine, just totally streamlining it, automating everything, and having it to where it's very well or very likely would be able to sell very easily because of the fact that he wasn't the face of the brand anymore. That was a really good, thing that we did for him and saved a bunch of his time. And he got it down to the point where he's doing 0 hours a week worth of work on his channel. So that was probably the most impactful thing that we did for him because, he wasn't as money. He's already making a ton of money. He was more time conscious. It's all about time. And if you can save somebody even an hour or two a week at the level that he's operating at, you just probably save them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because time is money at the level he's operating at where he has a portfolio of companies, right? Because of that, he was able to focus on starting another company that he's much more passionate about. I actually went to one of his talks for this company and I gave a talk myself at one of his events and it was really great, right? That was a huge plus for him. I mean, just absolute no-brainer that we were able to help him with that. The second thing that we did is we helped him with tracking because he was making these videos and he wasn't really seeing which ones were actually resulting in sales. So we helped him actually track the videos correctly so he knew which ones were resulting in sales and which ones he should make more of.
Before, what we would do is we'd eat a little bit of everything and then the weight would go down and we're like, okay, what food caused it? But we actually looked at the numbers with you and said, this type of video, it's like, let's eat more of it. In this case, let's produce more of it. And so it cut down the time even more to figuring out what types of video worked in terms of generating the quality of leads that we want and the type of people.
And it became very obvious when we started tracking that there were certain videos that were making way more sales than other videos, right? And so we doubled down on those types of videos. And the funny thing is, those same videos also tended to be the ones that were getting more views as well. So we knew that that would be kind of the direction to go in terms of video ideas or his niche. So tracking was another really important thing. Luckily, he already had some data on the tracking side. We were able to dive into the data and figure that out. Other clients that we've worked with, we have to kind of like set up the data tracking, and that could be, you know, it's not that hard, but you know, it's something else you got to do, and then it takes time. But luckily, he did have some data, and we helped him dial that system in even better. The third thing that we did, and I say this in almost every video because it's the most important thing, is we helped him select the right ideas. The idea is the most important thing in your video. It's more important than the editing. It's more important than the script writing. It's more important than any of the other stuff that all the YouTube gurus talk about.
First off is it just comes down to the video selection. For us, we were just trying to figure out, okay, well, let's just try different types of videos. And the methodology that you use to actually strategically just pick the type of videos just saved us so much time because, for example, we might have just made a list of 100 videos and just say, hey, let's just do all of them. Again, it's kind of like getting a bunch of recipes. You don't know which one you're actually going to like. You might be allergic to some of them.
We helped him select the right ideas for his videos, and that is what caused videos to absolutely take off. We use the ICAHN method for this. And that's what caused the videos to really pop off. Okay. On top of this, we optimize his thumbnails, his titles, and his intros. I call this the holy trifecta. So that's the next thing. I always talk about this as well.
The second thing that was really helpful was just the way that you thought about what was important. What was the 80-20? Like, how do we think about a good thumbnail? How do we think about a good title? How do we even structure the intro? How do we do the CTA? Like the whole thing. It was more like, once you have that structure, you can't unsee it. It's kind of like when you go to a musical performance, you're wowed by the stage production because you don't know how it's set up, but once you see it, you can't unsee it.
By the way, if you're interested in how to do any of this stuff, I know I'm not going into it in detail, but especially with something like the ICAHN method and the holy trifecta, I go to it in great detail when I do lives. All right, quick break. This Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm hosting a free live workshop called How to Get Money Quickly with YouTube. If you've been struggling to find your YouTube niche, or you don't want to spend months or even years building a channel around something that isn't profitable or just doesn't work for you in general, then this workshop is for you. Because for everyone who shows up live, I'll be giving away the Hidden Niche Finder 2.5. This is the most advanced version of my GPT-powered niche validation tool yet, and it's designed to help you instantly test and uncover profitable YouTube niches before you invest your time, money, and effort into the wrong one. And it's the most refined, data-driven version so far, and I'll be giving it away completely free, but only during this live workshop. So attend the free live workshop by clicking that link down the description and the pinned comment below to grab it. You'll also be able to ask me questions live, so I look forward to meeting you. Oh, and just a heads up, this will be probably one of the last times I'll be giving away a version of the niche validator for free, so make sure you click that link and show up to the workshop. Make sure you put it in your calendar, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Right, so we helped him optimize the holy trifecta. Additionally, I would say the next thing we did, the fifth thing we did, is we really helped him dial in his niche. And I kind of already went into this a little bit with the tracking stuff, but there are certain niches within niches, and sometimes there's niches within niches within niches. And basically, you really need to understand whether you should niche down, whether you should expand, whether you should pivot to a different niche. There's a lot of different things you can do to get to the end goal of what you want to do. And that's like a simplified version. There's other stuff like, for instance, should you do mass market content? Should you do very niche content where it's just targeting a very specific person? There's situations where both of those work. Which types of formats should you use? There's different formats. Like some formats might get more views, but they have less conversions. Other formats might not get that many views, but they have more conversions. These are all things that we help people dial in all the time. These are tough questions. Also, how to monetize their channel. That's another thing we help people dial in, but I'm going to get into that in a moment. But yeah, if you're having trouble with any of that, go ahead, click the link in the description in the pinned comment below. Attend my free live Zoom. It's literally like you'll be seeing me on Zoom. I'll be talking live. Check it out. Do not miss out on it. Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will dive deeply into exactly how to do that. Luckily, you don't have to wait very long for it. Then the next thing we did is we helped him monetize properly, right? So that was the next big thing that we helped him really dial in, is the monetization. He was pretty good at monetizing in general, but he didn't really quite understand how to monetize on YouTube. There are some specifics of how to monetize properly on YouTube that are really game changers.
Even in the beginning, like just working with that first year, we were like 4x the amount of profits and revenue we're making out of our YouTube. Obviously grew all the metrics as well. And now it's like one of our channels that brings in 6 figures a month in terms of just the amount of revenue that we're seeing.
And then we also helped him I think 4 or 5x the amount of views he was getting as well. Of course, that goes up and down, but we helped him dramatically increase the amount of views he was getting as well. So we just totally blew up his YouTube channel from where he was at before. Plus, we have people just automatically doing it. So if this sounds like something that you want to do, go ahead. Also we help people, figure out how to properly monetize their channel. There's a lot of different ways you can monetize. There's certain ways of like doing calls to action, for instance, that are more effective than others. Again, click that link in the description and the pinned comment below to attend the live training. And I know that 99% of people that watch this are not going to want to work with me or my team one-on-one. They're not going to want coaching. And I totally understand that. We like to give way more value than we receive. And there's lots of people that message me saying that they got results just from my free videos and my free live training. And keep in mind, we only work with about 18% of the people that apply. So we will not even try to sell you if we don't think you're a good fit for the program, right? So definitely check that out. And also check out this video right here of Sean, who we helped go from $30,000 a month all the way to over $500,000 a month. And you can check that out by clicking right here.